So, hello everyone. Good evening to all. This is CA Sachin Jain from Jodhpur, and today we are going to start our discussion on the budget 2024. Okay, before moving ahead, I just want one confirmation. I just want one confirmation from your side that my voice is audible and this PDF file is visible to you. Just confirm me in the YouTube chat box that my voice is audible and the PDF file is visible to you so that we can start the session. We can start our discussion. I suppose everything is fine from my side. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the budget 2024, and in this particular webinar we are going to discuss the budget 2024, all the proposals in a very simplified way. Okay, we'll discuss each and everything in a very simplified way with the analysis, with the effect. Okay, we'll cover the direct taxation proposals, the indirect taxation proposals, and we are also going to discuss about certain journal points which is there in the budget 2024. Okay, that means our discussion will be divided into three parts. First part is related to our indirect taxation proposals. Second part, we are going to discuss about direct taxation proposals. And third part, we have the journal proposals, other proposals. Okay. We'll discuss the provision, we'll discuss the example, and we'll discuss the effect on the industry of this budget as well. Okay. There are no much more amendments are proposed in this budget 2024, but what are the amendments proposed in this budget we are going to discuss in a very specified, in a very unique way with live practical examples. Okay, so before moving ahead, I just want one thing from your side, that the session should be interactive. Okay, if you have any question, if you have any doubt on any particular point, in that case there is chat box is available. You just need to comment your doubt in the chat box so that I can take that question, that doubt immediately, and we'll discuss on that as well. Okay, second, the mode of communication of this webinar will be in Hindi and English both. Okay, we'll use English language more, but there are certain example which will be Hindi. Okay, so if you have any issue with Hindi or English, in that case you have power to comment in the chat box. We'll convert that example into Hindi and English as per your requirement. Okay, so without wasting a single second, because we have around 50 to 55 minutes and we need to cover the complete analysis of budget 2024, we are going to start our discussion from the last page of this PDF file. That means we are first going to discuss on the amendment proposed from indirect taxation perspective. Okay, so before taking that amendment, I just want to discuss certain concepts. Okay, after the discussion on that particular concept, we'll discuss the amendment which is proposed in budget 2024. Sir, as we all know, there is one important concept is there, which is my input service distributor. This is the concept input service distributor, which is applicable in the GST. Okay, now your first question is that what do you mean by this input service distributor? So first we are going to understand the definition of input service distributor, and then after we are going to discuss the amendment which is proposed in the budget. Okay, so input service distributor means I am just going to take one example, and through that example I am going to discuss about this concept. Suppose I have head office of my business is in Rajasthan. Okay, this is the head office of my business and the head office is in Rajasthan, and I have total 3 branches. One branch is in my Gujarat, another branch is in my Maharashtra, and third branch is in my Tamil Nadu. These 3 branches are there. One is in Gujarat, another is in Maharashtra, and third one is at Tamil Nadu. Okay, so in that case, suppose my Rajasthan head office is going to bought certain laptops for the office. Okay, so Rajasthan head office has bought around 1000 laptops. Rajasthan head office has bought around 1000 laptops, and the complete billing in with the complete billing is with name of the head office only, and the GST, the cumulative GST of this 1000 laptop is around 1 lakh rupees. This is the input tax credit. Okay, but now head office is going to distribute these laptops to various branches. Suppose that head office is going to distribute 300 laptop to Gujarat, 300 to Maharashtra, and 400 to Tamil Nadu. Okay, that means head office is going to distribute the complete laptops in the various branches, but the complete ITC which is accumulated in the hand of head office only. Now the point is that if head office wants to transfer the input tax credit to various respective branches, in that case head office has to take registration as a ISD. Okay, head office has to take registration as a ISD. And whenever that head office is going to take the registration as a ISD, that head office can transfer that input tax credit to the various branches in the ratio of turnover. That is what is the provision which is there. Okay, that means that 1 lakh rupees ki input tax credit can be transferred to various branches in the ratio of the turnover. That is what is the provision which is there in case of input service distributor. Okay, so now just comment me once in the chat box that this input service distributor ka concept is okay for you, so that we can discuss the amendment. Sir, your reply plays a very important role in a healthy discussion. Now, this is my concept of input service distributor. Now, suppose that head office is going to transfer the ITC on account of forward charge. Okay, we all know there are two type of ITCs there. Okay, that means two type of supplies there. One is my forward charge, another is my reverse charge. In case of my reverse charge mechanism, when I am paying the tax and I am claiming the input tax credit based on self invoicing mechanism. So now point is that suppose that head office, suppose if that head office is going to take the legal services, suppose there is a dispute in the industry, there is a dispute in the industry, and due to that dispute that head office has taken certain legal services from the advocate. Okay, and as we all know that as per section number 9, there is requirement that GST will be applicable on all the legal services under reverse charge mechanism. Okay, so suppose if that head office is going to pay the litigation fees is around 1 crore rupees and GST is around 18 lakh rupees on that litigation, and that amount, that GST amount is paid by that head office, and head office is going to claim the particular input tax credit, but this 18 lakh रुपए की ITC, this 18 lakh rupees की ITC, this 18 lakh रुपए की ITC that head office is going to claim on the basis of reverse charge mechanism, because on legal services there is a applicability of the RCM, and that head office is going to pay GST under reverse charge mechanism and claiming the input tax credit of this 18 lakh rupees. Now question is that whether this ITC can be distributed by that particular head office to the various branches, because this is the dispute which is related to the whole industry, not with related to that head office or not to related with the particular branch. This dispute is for the whole industry. So in that case, this 18 lakh rupees can be transferred or not. That is what is the point. Okay, now अभी तक क्या था, एज पर सेक्शन नंबर 2 सबसेक्शन 61 ऑफ CGST एक्ट, गवर्नमेंट ने वहां पर उस सेक्शन के अंदर लिखा हुआ था ओनली ITC which is due to under section number 31, due to the invoices of under section 31. That means if an head office is going to receive the invoices under forward charge, in that case only they can transfer the input tax credit. That means the ITC related to reverse charge mechanism will not be transferred to the various branches. Okay, that is what is the first point. Now government को ये लगा कि यार if there is any reverse charge mechanism related input tax credit, in that case also there is a accumulation of input tax credit. Because if head office is going to pay that 1 crore rupees as a legal fees, and that head office is not going to distribute that input tax credit, in that case there will be unnecessary accumulation of the input tax credit in hand of head office. Hence, in budget 2024, government has proposes this amendment in the section number 2 subsection 61 of the CGST Act, और उन्होंने यहां पर एक लाइन इंसर्ट कर दी that ITC on account of reverse charge mechanism can also be distributed by the head office to the various branches. That is what is the point. Okay. Now, the laptop distribution is that head office is just going to provide the services of the laptop, because head office is just going to transfer the laptops for the use, and after that use head office is again going to take back that laptop from the various branches. Hence, that relevant ITC should be distributed. This is a transfer of service. Okay, this is a supply of service, but the main billing is with name of the head office, and head office is bought the goods. Okay, so the ITC is just to transfer for the services. That is what is the point. Hence, I had taken this example, and the main basic amendment is there that now government proposes that ITC on account of reverse charge mechanism can also be distributed by the head office to various branches. That is what is the first amendment which is proposed in budget 2024. Just we are going to read the same from the language of law so that we can understand it in a best way. Earlier, the definition of input service distributor, and in that definition only the invoices as per section number 31, that means my forward charge wali invoices se related ITC can be transferred to the branches. But now, as per the proposal, the proposed new section number 2 subsection 61, tax invoices related ITC and the ITC including invoices in relation services liable to tax under subsection 3 and subsection 4 of section 9, and we all know very well that section number 9 subsection 3 and 4 of the CGST Act will cover the ITC on account of reverse charge mechanism, the supply on account of reverse charge mechanism, and in that case head office can in that case the supplier, the recipient is going to pay the tax and claiming the input tax credit. That is what is the provision of section number 9 subsection 3 and subsection 4. Okay, now अगर हम लोग conclusively बात करें कि what is the amendment number 1 which is proposed, so in that case the amendment is that now onwards the RCM related input tax credit can also be transferred by the head office to the various branches. That is what is the amendment which is proposed. So this first amendment is okay for each and everyone or not? I just want your reply in the chat box so that we can take the example number, that means amendment number 2. Now, जब गवर्नमेंट ने ये प्रपोज किया कि नाउ इनपुट सर्विस से रिलेटेड जो आईटीसी है ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ रिवर्स चार्ज मैकेनिज्म कैन आल्सो बी ट्रांसफर्ड, सो गवर्नमेंट हैज टू provide the mechanism that how they are going to transfer. So for that purpose government has also substitute section number 20 of CGST Act. There are certain alteration in that as well, और उन्होंने ये बोला कि जिस रेशियो में आप फॉरवर्ड चार्ज की आईटीसी ट्रांसफर कर रहे थे, इन द सेम रेशियो एंड इन द सेम मैकेनिज्म यू नीड टू ट्रांसफर द आईटीसी ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ सेक्शन नंबर 9 subsection 3 and 4. That means the RCM related ITC will be distributed to the various branches in the same mechanism, in the same manner as you are following in case of your forward charge. Okay, that means if there is any IGST or CGST, in that case that IGST or CGST can be transferred to the branches. Okay, if the supply is interstate, in that case IGST will be transferred, and if the supply is intrastate, in that case CGST will be transferred. That is what is the point which is there, and the same mechanism is provided in this section number 20. That is what is the amendment which is there from the input service distributor perspective. Okay, because कई एक बात चल रही है कि there is no any amendment proposed by the government in the budget 2024 related to the indirect taxation. Okay, but there are two amendments are there which is proposed in the budget 2024. This was our first. And second number, government introduced one new section, that is section number 122 subsection number 1, subsection number A, subclause number A in the budget 2024. Okay, and through this section, government has proposed one specific penalty in case of contravention of the provision. Contravention of the provision of section 148. Okay. Now, what do you mean by this section number 148 and what are the requirement which is there in that section number 148? So, as per this section number 148, there is requirement that manufacturer of certain goods has to register their machinery. Okay, manufacturer of the goods has to register their machinery. Now, on which particular type of that is manufacturer, on which particular type of machinery this provision will be applicable? So in that specific case, government will specifically notify. That means if there is any specific notification is issued by the government for the registration of machinery, and in that case, if that taxpayer is not going to register that particular machinery, in that case, as per section number 122 subclause number A, there will be a penalty of 1 lakh rupees for non-registration of each machinery. If you have 5 machineries and if you had not taken that registration, in that case the 5 lakh rupees penalty will be applicable as per section number 122A. Now the point is that, sir, when government will notify? So still government has notified certain tobacco products. Okay, in case of manufacture of certain tobacco products, there is requirement to register the machinery and they also need to file certain returns, so that the genuineness of the productivity, the genuineness of the product और उसकी safety से related चीजें हैं वो government के पास में data store हो जाए. For that purpose government has implemented this particular thing. But कई लोग यहाँ पर उसको follow नहीं कर रहे थे और यहां पर कोई पेनल्टी का प्रोविजन था नहीं, इसलिए कॉन्ट्रावेंशन हो रहा था. सो गवर्नमेंट हैज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड दिस सेक्शन नंबर 122 सबसेक्शन सब क्लॉज नंबर ए, एंड इन दैट केस इफ देयर इज रिक्वायरमेंट टू रजिस्टर दैट मशीनरी एंड इफ taxpayer is not going to register the same, in that case there will be a penalty which can be imposed by the government for 1 lakh rupee for each and every machinery for non registration. That is what is the provision which is inserted by this section number 122. Now सर, क्या यहां पर गवर्नमेंट के पास कोई सीजर का भी पावर होगा क्या? इफ आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू रजिस्टर दैट पर्टिकुलर मशीनरी, सो यस, गवर्नमेंट हैज पावर टू सीज योर मशीनरी इफ यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू register that machinery. In that case government can seize that particular machinery. Now अगर आपने, if that particular taxpayer is going to pay that penalty of 1 lakh rupees, if the taxpayer is going to pay that penalty of 1 lakh rupees, in that case there will be no seizure will be there. Okay, or within the 3 days from the intimation of that particular order, if that particular person is going to register that machinery, in that case also there will be no any seizure. Okay, so first point is that if that taxpayer is not going to register that machinery, the penalty will be 1 lakh rupees. Seizure ka power government ke paas hai, but if you are going to pay that particular penalty, in that case there will be no any seizure. Or if you are going to register the machinery within 3 days from the intimation of this particular thing, in that case also there will be no any seizure. That is what is the amendment which is proposed in budget 2024 from indirect taxation perspective. Just read the language of the law. New section 122A is there, and in that case there is requirement who is manufacturer of goods, special procedure relating to registration of the machinery, and if that person is not going to register the same, a penalty equal to amount of 1 lakh rupee for every machinery if so not registered will be charged. Now also, in addition to penalty, government has power for the seizure, but seizure will not be there if that particular person is going to pay the penalty or registration of the machinery has been done within 3 days. So that is what is the thing which is there. So conclusively, there are total 2 amendments which is proposed in the budget 2024 from indirect taxation perspective. The first one is my input service distributor. That means you can claim RCM related ITC as well. I request, if you want, you may create this chart in your notebook or in your mobile phone so that you can easily understand. पूरी 1 घंटे की वीडियो को वापस रिपीट करने की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होगी. You just need to go through with this chart so that you can easily identify that what are the amendments are there. Okay. The second point which is there, from new insert of section number 122A, that is machinery registration in certain specific case. But if you are not going to register, in that case there is a penalty of 1 lakh rupees. Also government has power for the seizure, but no seizure will be there if you are going to pay the penalty or you are going to register within 3 days. In that case there will be no any seizure will be there. These are the two provisions which are proposed in the budget number 2024. Now sir, I suppose this amendment from indirect taxation perspective is okay for each and everyone. These are the two amendments which is there from indirect taxation perspective. I just want your confirmation from each and everyone that these amendments are okay for you, so that we can start our discussion from the direct taxation perspective. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन से रिलेटेड प्रपोजल्स हम लोगों ने डिस्कस कर लिए हैं. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अवर डिस्कशन फ्रॉम द डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन पर्सपेक्टिव, द बजट अमेंडमेंट्स, बजट प्रपोजल्स फ्रॉम डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन पर्सपेक्टिव. ओके, सो the first thing, there is no any changes in the slab rate of tax. There is no any changes in the slab rate of tax. There is no any changes from the slab rate of tax. उस perspective से यहाँ पर कोई भी changes नहीं है. I have given the complete chart of the rate. Okay, old regime and new regime as well. Okay, so if you want to understand, you can take the screenshot of this particular image, and also you will receive this PDF file so that you can go through with that PDF file as well. Okay, so these are the slab rate which is there, and there is no any amendment proposed. Now we are going to discuss the changes from budget 2024 from direct taxation perspective. First, government has come up with a specific scheme. Okay, and through that specific scheme, government wants to provide the relief to the taxpayers. Okay, if there is any dispute, if there is any dispute of demand, if there is any dispute of demand, in that case government is saying that if that demand amount is up to 25,000 rupees and which is related from 1962 to 2009-10, in that case that amount will be waived by the government. That means if there is any demand which is related to direct taxation, okay, and if the amount is up to 25,000 and that amount is related to the financial year 1962 से लगा करके 2009-10 तक का कोई भी amount है up to 20,000 rupees or 25,000 rupees, in that case government is going to waive off that amount. That is what is the first provision. Second, government ने बोला if there is any pending or disputed demand from 2010-11 to 2014-15 and the amount of the demand is up to 10,000 rupees, in that case also government is going to waive off that particular demand. Okay, that means there are total two provisions are there in this particular thing. If the disputed amount is up to 25,000 rupees and the period for that particular demand is 1962 से लगा करके 2009-10 तक, in that case government is going to waive off that amount up to 25,000 rupees. And if the demand is up to 10,000 rupees and the period is 2010 से लगा करके 2014-15 का है, in that case government is going to waive off that particular demand. These 2 points are there, which is proposed in the budget 2024 for the relief of the taxpayers. Okay, so this is an important change which we need to know, because if we have certain clients and they have also this particular type of demand, which is to 25,000 or 10,000 rupees, in that case we may suggest to our client to file that application for waiver of that amount on the income tax portal, although the mechanism of the waiver is not provided by the government, which will be issued or released by the government in very near future. Okay, but the mechanism will be, you just need to apply on the income tax portal, then after your amount will be waived off. Okay, so that is what is the thing, and through that particular provision government is going to provide the benefit to crore taxpayers. Okay, now as we all know, there are multiple schemes are available for the startup. Okay, if there is any entity and that entity is registered under the startup, there are multiple taxation benefits are there, there are fund related schemes are there. Okay, I also suggest you, this is my humble request to you, if you are a tax professional or a chartered accountant, in that case we have certain clients which fall under the category of the startup. We just need to provide the consultancy to our client for the registration as a startup, because if they are going to register under the startup, they will get multiple benefits. Okay, and this is also a core area of practice, and this is also an add-on in our practice. Okay, because client kab hamare paas mein rahega, when we are going to provide certain additional services to that client. Okay, and for that purpose we need to add on certain things. Okay, now वो तो क्लाइंट कैप्चर टेक्निक थी. दिस सेशन इज रिलेटेड टू दी बजट 2024, so we'll discuss that as well. Now there are certain exemptions or benefits are there for the startups. Okay, if there is any startup, in that case for first 10 year tak they can adjust their that is taxation figures. Okay, so for first 3 फाइनेंशियल ईयर के कंसेक्यूटिव फाइनेंशियल 3 इयर्स के, वो वहां पर क्या कर सकते हैं, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस को डिडक्ट कर सकते हैं, डिडक्शन क्लेम कर सकते हैं. Okay, so for that deduction the earlier timeline was 31st March 2024. Now government has extended that particular timeline to 31st March 2025. That means if there is any 3 financial year ke profit and loss account, you can adjust or you can claim deduction of that 3 consecutive financial year ke deduction ke benefit till 31st March 2025. The government has extended this timeline for 1 more year. Okay, so there is no any amendment is there, although this is just an extension of deadline to claim the benefit, to claim the deduction for the profit and loss. Okay, in case of startup, this is the specific provision which is through the 80 IAC of the Income Tax Act 1961, and government has just extended the date for claiming the benefit through this budget 2024. Okay, this is my proposal number 2. डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन से रिलेटेड टोटल 2 प्रपोजल्स अभी तक हम लोगों ने डिस्कस कर लिया. फर्स्ट प्रपोजल was related to a specific scheme which is announced by the government to provide the relief to the taxpayer amount up to 25 and up to 10,000 rupees. Second, there is no as such amendment is there. This is just an extension of deadline to claim the benefit in case of startup till 31st March 2025. Now third point, first we'll discuss the concept and then after we'll discuss the provision. Okay, I am just sharing the concept first, the logic behind that. जैसे ही आप कॉन्सेप्ट को समझ जाओगे, you can easily understand the amendment. अगर हम लोग डायरेक्टली अमेंडमेंट पे मूव करेंगे, इन दैट सिचुएशन अगर आपको अगर कॉन्सेप्ट का आइडिया नहीं है तो आपके लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा उसको समझना, and there may be multiple doubts in your mind. So that we are first going to discuss on the concept. Suppose we all know that in case of foreign exchange, suppose I want to transfer certain amount to UK and US. Okay, in that case I need to take the help of certain dealer who is dealing in this particular currency transfer, currency transactions, or this foreign exchange related transactions. Okay, I need to take the help of that particular person, and that person is going to charge amount from me as well. So that person is also going to deduct the TCS, who is going to convert your amount or who is going to transfer your amount to the foreign country. That person is also going to deduct the TCS. Second, if you are going to take any tour packages, okay, nowadays there are various tour packages are there outside India. Okay, we are going for the foreign trips and all those things. Okay, so in that case there is requirement to deduct the TCS for that particular dealer. That dealer is going to deduct the TCS. Now question is that what will be the rate of TCS? What will be the rate of TCS for the deduction purposes in case of that foreign exchange or in case of that tour packages? That is what is the point. And related to that, government has come up with certain amendments in the budget 2024. Now, discuss one by one. In case of foreign exchange, for the authorized operation, the TCS deduction normal rate is my 20% old rate tha. Now the rate is 5%. That means earlier if you want to transfer any amount to outside India, in that case there is requirement to deduct the TCS at the rate of 20%, but now this rate is 5%. This is proposed by the government. Second, there is certain specific exemption is there. That means there is certain specific exemption is there related to the transfer of that amount. If someone is going to, if that amount, if someone is going to transfer the amount up to 7 lakh rupees for the medical and education purpose, in that case there is no requirement to deduct the TCS. That is what is the limit which was applicable in earlier scenario. Okay, that means if someone is going to transfer 7 lakh rupees to outside India, okay, in that case there is no requirement to deduct the TCS if that transfer is on account of education and for the medical treatment to provide the facilities. Okay, now government has proposed that if someone is going to transfer an amount up to 7 lakh rupees in a particular financial year, whether for medical or education purpose or not for medical or education purpose, that means if that person is going to transfer amount up to 7 lakh rupees for any other purpose, in that case also there is no requirement to deduct the TCS. But if the person is going to transfer an amount above 7 lakh rupees, not for the medical and the education purpose, in that case, the rate will be 20%. That is what is the provision. Okay, that means earlier TCS rate was 5%. Now TCS rate is, earlier TCS rate was 20%, sorry, but now the TCS rate is 5%, which is proposed. If the amount is up to 7 lakh rupees and the amount transferred for the medical and education purpose, no TCS as per earlier regime. Now 7 lakh rupees तक किसी भी पर्पस के लिए आपने ट्रांसफर किया, there is no requirement to deduct the TCS. But if you are going to transfer the amount above 7 lakh rupees purpose other than medical treatment or the education, in that case the rate of TCS will be 20%. That is what is the amendment which is proposed by the government from the perspective of authorized dealer. Now sir, आपने बोला था there is also one amendment from the tour packages perspective. So in case of that tour packages, if the amount of that tour package is up to 7 lakh rupees, in that case, as per old regime, there was requirement to deduct the TCS at the rate of 20%. But now there is just requirement to deduct the TCS at the rate of 5%. And if the amount is more than 7 lakh rupees, in that case, earlier भी 20% TCS deduct करना था, now भी there is requirement to deduct the TCS at the rate of 20%. That is what is the provision. This is the third amendment which is proposed in the budget 2024 from direct taxation perspective. I suppose all these three amendments are okay in your mind. So if this provision is clear in your mind, in that case, just provide me the comment in the chat box. अगर कोई बोले सर समराइज कर दो ना, सो आई एम गोइंग टू आल्सो समराइज द डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन प्रपोजल. द फर्स्ट प्रपोजल विच इज रिलेटेड टू डिस्प्यूटेड डिमांड. Two type of demand is there, up to 25,000, up to 10,000. Okay, second is extension of date for startup till 31st March 2025. And third amendment which is proposed related to the deduction of TCS, rate of TCS. Sir, जब तक मैं चार्ट बना रहा हूं, I am requesting everyone to comment in the chat box that these three amendments are okay for you or not. Rate of TCS की केस में first is my authorized dealer and another is my tour package. In case of tour package, if the amount is up to 7 lakh rupees, in that case there is requirement to deduct the TCS at the rate of 5%. But if the amount is above 7 lakh rupees, in that case there is requirement to deduct the TCS at the rate of 20%. In case of authorized dealer, okay, 5% rate is there. If amount is up to 7 lakh, no TCS is required. Above 7 lakh, okay, above 7 lakh, but for medical purpose and for education purpose, in that case there is requirement with TDS at the rate of 5%. And if amount is above 7 lakh rupees, other purpose, in that case there is requirement with the TCS at the rate of 20%. These are the amendments from the direct taxation perspective. I suppose all these amendments are okay for each and everyone. सो डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन पर्सपेक्टिव से जो अमेंडमेंट यहाँ पर आए हम लोगों ने डिस्कस कर लिए. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन से रिलेटेड जो भी यहाँ पर अमेंडमेंट थे, वी हैड ऑलरेडी कवर्ड द सेम. नाउ we are going to start our discussion on the amendment or the proposals from journal perspective. Okay, there are certain journal provisions are also there which we need to know. अब आप बोलोगे, there may be a question in mind of the professionals that why we need to understand the journal provisions, because these are the journal scheme. What is the use of these schemes for us? So I request to everyone, there are certain schemes which is related to us for our profession, okay, so that we can discuss the same with our client. Okay, we can also provide certain business strategy and business ideas to our client based on that budget declarations or budget proposals. Okay, we can also estimate the future. Although this is the interim budget, final budget will be passed in July 2024. This is the interim budget. डायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेशन से रिलेटेड जो पॉइंट थे हमने पॉइंट टू पॉइंट बात कर ली, बट देर आर सर्टन अदर प्रोविजंस, there are certain other amendments, there are certain other proposals are there related to the various government scheme. I just want to discuss on those schemes as well. So the first thing is that अभी तक जो गवर्नमेंट का नारा था that was सबका साथ सबका विश्वास सबका विकास. Now in budget 2024 they introduced one more word, that is सबका प्रयास. सबके प्रयास से ही will win and will make the history. That is what is the dedication of this particular line. Now द स्पीच ऑफ द बजट, उसमें से कुछ चीजें यहां पर निकाली है, फ्रूटफुल चीजें, उससे रिलेटेड कुछ एनालिसिस है जो आपके सामने इस पीडीएफ फाइल के अंदर प्रेजेंटेड है. द फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज दैट गवर्नमेंट सेज वी आर वर्किंग ऑन द हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल, हर घर जल, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फॉर ऑल, cooking gas for all. Also we had provided free ration to 80 crore of the peoples, and as well as we are working on the generating of the jobs. So इसका जब हमने एनालिसिस किया तो हमको पता चला, we came to know that this type of strategy is just to develop the basic necessary to develop the infrastructure, to boost the infrastructure of the country. So these facilities are for the basic infrastructure development of the basic infrastructure of the country. Second, government said that we are working on the Vikshit Bharat by 2047. Okay, ये कैसे होगा, इसके पिलर्स के बारे में भी हम लोग आज इस वेबिनार के अंदर डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. बट गवर्नमेंट हैज अनाउंस्ड दैट वी आर वर्किंग ऑन द विकसित भारत बाय 2047, एंड इफ विल वन win in that case when will present the July 2024 के अंदर बजट. at that moment will discuss the complete road map, जिस रोड मैप के थ्रू will create the history and will make this dream into reality, Viksit Bharat by 2047. Also government says that we have four pillars. One is poor, another is women, third one is youth, and fourth one is farmer. Okay, so our economy is based on the four pillars. Okay, and we are working on the development, inclusive development of all these four pillars so that our community will grow. Okay, so that is what is the thing which is also presented by the government in the budget 2024. इन पॉइंट्स का आइडिया हमको बेसिक पॉइंट से भी होना चाहिए, बिकॉज अगर कोई बोल दे कि बजट में क्या क्या था और उस समय इफ वी आर नॉट इन सिचुएशन टू डिस्कस द सेम, hence we had covered these journal points as well. Okay, and after this session I suppose this will be very much easy for you to discuss about the budget 2024. Government has also planned for the freedom from the poverty. Okay, government is working on that as well. Also government is providing the credit assistance, the financial assistance to 78 lakh street vendor, and with that government has introduced one new scheme, that is PM Vishwakarma Yojana. And through that scheme, scheme is specifically for carpenters, for electricians. Okay, if they require the fund, if they require the financial assistance through that scheme, government is going to provide the training to those carpenters and electricians and other skill holders person, as well as government is providing the financial help to those workers, to those skill holders. Okay, that is what is the motive of this PM Vishwakarma scheme, PM Vishwakarma Yojana. Now government has come up certain things for the annadata, that is farmer. Okay, government has a specific scheme, that is PM Kisan Samman Yojana. Through that particular scheme, government is going to provide the financial assistance to various farmers. Okay, so that they can fulfill their financial needs. For that purpose government is developing this particular scheme. They have one more scheme, that is Fasal Bima Yojana. Through that particular scheme, government is providing the क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस टू दी फार्मर्स. फार्मर का क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस की स्कीम भी यहां पर गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करवा रही है. एंड विद दैट government has come up with various things for the yuva pedhi to generate the jobs. Also government is planning to establish various IIT, IIM and AIMS in the near future. Okay, so suppose अपने पास में कोई client है जो manufacturing करता है related to the item which is required by the IITs, by the IIM, by the AIMS. Okay, certain medical equipment related products. In that case we can suggest our client to establish the manufacturing industry, establish the location, plant location nearby that particular development, nearby the proposed AIMS, IIT, IIMs, or we may suggest to make connections with those authorities. Okay, that is what is also a part of our consultancy, and this will create an add-on to our consultancy services. Okay, because कई बार मैं सेशन लेता हूं और कई सारे लोग बोलते हैं सर हाउ वी कैन कैप्चर द क्लाइंट्स फॉर अवर बिजनेस. So for that purpose the first thing is that you need to be up to date. Okay, and second thing is that you just need to provide certain add-ons to your client जो दूसरे दे रहे हैं. If you are going to provide the same to your client, in that case your client will not be stay. Okay, और वो आपसे कनेक्ट नहीं करेगा, नया क्लाइंट नहीं जुड़ेगा. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड सर्टेन न्यू थिंग्स, सर्टेन एड-ऑन, सर्टेन एडिशंस, whether it is in form of the information, if you are going to provide the information to your client as well, in that case also this will create a huge impact on the mindset of your client. Okay, अभी हम लोग बात करेंगे. There are multiple schemes launched by the government for the green energy, bioproduct development. Okay, so if you have certain clients, they are planning to start work in this particular area, and if you are going to suggest certain plan, if you are going to guide to your client, in that case wo client aapka fix ho gaya, and that person is also going to show that information with other as well. There are multiple schemes on account of e-vehicles and e-buses are provided by the government. We'll discuss on that as well. So through that scheme, if we are going to discuss the same with our client, in that case also this will create a good faith. Okay, because our profession is completely based on the faith. Government is also providing the financial assistance through the PM Mudra Yojana. This is one of the best scheme in the market nowadays. Okay, many business groups are taking the loan through this particular PM Mudra Yojana, and in that particular scheme they are going to provide the financial assistance without any collateral security. You just need to take the insurance from the government and you just need to get the CG pen. Okay, based on that your fund will be issued by that particular bank. So this is the specific scheme. और बहुत कम लोगों को पता है कि this scheme is also in two parts. One is for women and one is for men's. If a woman entrepreneur is going to take the loan, any financial facility under this PM Mudra Yojana, in that case there are multiple benefits, multiple additional benefits are also there. There is a lower rate of interest, there is a higher amount of subsidy. Okay, there are certain relaxation in the compliances for the women, and the same will be covered by the government in the Nari Shakti. दो पॉइंट एक साथ में डिस्कस हो गए. सो पीएम मुद्रा योजना फॉर टू पर्पसेस, इफ एन मैन एंटरप्रेन्योर इज गोइंग टू टेक द सेम, then there is a lower rate of interest is also there, but in comparison to women this rate is higher. Okay, so if you have client and in that case the proprietor is woman, and if they require the financial assistant in that financial assistance, in that case this is your responsibility as a professional, this is our responsibility to guide that particular person regarding the financial assistance, so that this scheme as well. Government is also planning for multiple academy for the sports. Okay, now sir, government ने बोला we are planning for the Vikshit Bharat 2047. Okay, we are going to cover certain things. So उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ चीजें इनिशिएट की है, कुछ चीजें यहाँ पर बजट 204 में डिस्कस किया है. वी आर वर्किंग ऑन दैट, and based on that we are preparing the roadmap for Vikshit Bharat 2047. Or as a financial advisor, if I have idea about all those schemes which government is going to launch in future for the Vikshit Bharat, and if I am going to connect with my client through these schemes, then it will also create an impact. Okay, बजट का सेशन है, पर बजट को I am going to link with our profession. Okay, if you are liking if you are like this concept, then please comment in the chat box. Also this is request from my side. So for that Vikshit Bharat 2047, government ने बोला we have to develop the infrastructure which is in form of physical, digital and social infrastructure. There is requirement of development of the physical, digital and social infrastructure. Government is also working on a digital public infrastructure. In that case, all your financial and formalization related documents will be stored in that particular digital platform, that is digital public infrastructure. Okay, this is also one of the things which is there. If you have a client which is doing the work related to software making, if you are going to suggest to your client that you should work on that particular documentation related software and all those things, this will also create an impact, and this is the motive of government, hence they are coming with this particular infrastructure. Government is also planning to widen the tax base through this GST. Okay, also they are planning for one gift IFSC. This is the most important thing, and which plays a very important role in the Viksit Bharat 2047. This gift IFSC is a gateway platform. Okay, through that platform you can provide the financial and capital related services. You can provide your financial and capital related services globally. Okay, now if I want to provide any financial services in other country, in that case I need to connect with the other country person directly. Okay, there is no any platform provided by the government, but to boost the economy, to inflow of the foreign currency, there is requirement for a platform, and government is also working for that particular platform. And for Viksit Bharat 2047, government is planning for this particular gift IFSC. Okay, government is working on the green energy related projects. Okay, if a particular person wants to establish the green energy related business, in that case government is ready to provide the financial assistance for the establishment of that particular infrastructure, for the establishment of the plant and machinery. Also, if someone is plans to establish the plant for CNG, PNG, biomass aggregation machinery related products, if they are going to work, in that case government is ready to provide the financial assistance. There are multiple schemes launched by the government, and there are multiple resources is available for the funding by the various bank is also available in case of green energy, in case of biomass aggregation. Okay, and government is also working on the rooftop solarization, and through that particular thing government promote the solarization, and they are going to provide the multiple subsidy on the buying of that particular solarization. Okay, through that that individual can generate the energy. Okay, and government has also proposes that if someone is going to generate the excess energy through the solarization, in that case that person is also option to sell that particular energy in the market. This scheme is also available. Now Government has also talked for the e-buses and the e-vehicles for the ecosystem. Okay, and if there is if someone is going to establish certain unit for the manufacturing of the parts of the e-buses and e-vehicles, in that case government will provide the financial assistance, the related assistance, the guidance for the manufacturing as well. Okay, and if that person is going to innovate certain things in the era of that e-buses and e-products, in that case that person has right to register the same as a startup and avail the benefit of the PPIT. Okay, so all those things are there. A new scheme for the biomanufacturing is also there for the environmental friendly products. Okay, if someone is going to generate the same or establish the same, and if that person has the idea, in that case complete project finance will be provided by the particular bank. Okay, LED light, government is planning to provide 1.3 crore LED lights for the streets. Okay, so अगर हम लोग देखें तो दिस बजट में जो भी स्कीम थी, वैसे देखा जाए तो कई लोग बोल रहे देयर इज नथिंग इन दिस बजट, ओके, फॉर द डिस्कशन, फॉर द एनालिसिस, बट फ्रॉम माय perspective, if we are going to plan in that case on each and every point of the budget, we can plan the future. Okay, we can easily analyze the future. So that is what is the thing, and we may provide that facility to our client as well. So government has also come with three major railway corridors. One is for energy, another is for minerals, and third one is for cement. Through that, government is manage the high traffic, and this scheme called as PM's Gati Shakti Yojana. Okay. Also, government is planning for expansion of the existing airports, and government is also planning for the new airports, and also for the urban transportation there is a metro rail, and Namo Bharat is also projects are live. Okay, so this is all also a green signal for us from the investment perspective. If we are planning to invest the amount is share, and if you are provide the investment related consultancy, in that case there is requirement to know all those things. Okay, that which sector is going to grow, on which sector government is going to give more emphasis. That is what is the things we need to know. Tourism related, government is providing long term finance, that is up to 50-year ka finance government is going to provide interest free. Okay, to various state, and state is going to distribute that fund to various establishments. So if you have certain clients related to that tourism field, or if someone wants to establish that particular type of business, in that case the funding related work, the management related work, the other benefits or schemes can be provided by the government. If someone is going to establish the tourism infrastructure, in that case also government is ready to support by the financial assistance, also by the project ideas. Okay, so this is also one of the thing. Government is also planning for the iconic tourist centers. Okay, and for that purposes government is approaching to various states. Okay, that is what is also one thing which is there from the tourism perspective. Agro and food processing, मैं तो कहूंगा this is the best idea for business. Okay, if there is certain person who is going to manufacture that oil seeds or capture that oil seeds, and if that person is going to work on that, in that case government has one specific scheme, that is Atmanirbhar Oil Seeds Abhiyan strategy, so that person can sell their product, through that person can take the financial assistance, so that person can capture the market, and buying is also ensured by the government. Okay, and government is also promoting the export of the agricultural produce, and for that purpose government is not charging any duty on that particular export. That is what is also one important thing which is there, which is proposed or which is discussed by the honorable finance minister in the budget 2024. So these are the journal points. We had divided this budget 2024 in